No, not at all.
End
And
of it.
I thought that was just a thing. It
I
took me
never,
years to find
it took
out.
me years as well. I never thought, like, that kid has no eyebrows. But then somebody said, oh, yeah, about 3 years ago, his brother shaved his eyebrows off and they never grew back. As soon as someone said that, it was like, that kid has no eyebrows. Why did that not register?
Yeah, I guess that's just another weird-looking kid. There were enough of them in our school.
I
so
thought
it's
they were
like, I
blonde
guess that's kind
eyebrows.
of peach fuzz on his forehead.
I thought it was like an inverse Sam the Eagle.
When puberty kicks in, he'll finally get his eyebrows.
An inverse Alistair Darling.
Oh.
Would you rather have that? Would you rather have black hair and grey eyebrows or black eyebrows and grey hair?
Black eyebrows and grey hair every time. Good. I can't imagine. Well, I mean, does that exist? Black hair, grey eyebrows?
It's got to exist somewhere. You've got Google, as you would say.
I mean, I'm doing it right now, my good chum.
Come on then. All right. What about
No, I've got loads of fucking makeup ads coming up now.
What about blonde hair, red mustache?
So are you petitioning me to fucking Google this? I get blonde hair,
Yeah.
red moustache,
Yeah. Would you say mustache or mustache?
moustache.
Okay.
Nah, that's a waste. There's nothing. It doesn't exist.
So, have you seen Hear No Evil, See No Evil?
I have seen it prior to us discussing that we would do this on the show as well.
Oh, and have you heard it?
So I both saw it and I heard. I saw the evil and I heard the evil. The evil that is in fact Kevin Spacey. All right, so the first thing I wanted to...
I thought you used the word prior, and I was trying to get Gene Wilder into
Damn
the
it! I
sentence.
fucking dropped the ball. Damn it! That would have been dynamite.
But I couldn't work out how to say Wilder. Have you heard it, or was it Wilder? What? Even
Well,
that's
look,
too low for this show.
I mean, I think that, with the chain of thought, we've spread
Chain
that
of
all out.
thought.
Or maybe that was a bit generous. But it's out there. I mean, I think
It's more like a
we've given them
ball.
We've given the building blocks of a joke. They can piece it together in their own time, and they can kind of mail it in for next week or whatever, or whenever.
Fucking hell. Surely you've just described the stilts that this podcast stands on.
Yeah, but I don't think it's any kind of like great revelation for any of the listeners.
It's
I
kind of
think
like,
this is...
hi everybody, we're probably funny. The way we act, it's kind of, it's implied we think we're funny.
Definitely. We think we're hot fucking shit.
No, you got to say it the way Damien says it. You got to say, we think we're hot shit.
Hot fucking shit. Which is exactly, that was the genesis of this podcast. We were shit-faced in the pub one time. It's like, we're amazing. Everyone needs to know about this.
Yeah, and then I accidentally bought 2 microphones, and that was us committed to doing 51 episodes.
Every week's like, damn.
Oh, fuck. I regret this.
I wish we just shut our fucking mouths, man. Damn it. I'll never drink again, slup. All right, so yeah. The first thing I kind of wanted to ask about this movie, which is more baffling than anything else. So Kevin Spacey, right?
Yes.
Which is
God, this rings a bell.
Ooh, I remember this, man.
No, Kevin Spacey. We've done this before. Well, ages ago, like episode 18 or something, where Kevin Spacey was an ancillary character in some film we watched, and then you start doing this. You start going, so Kevin Spacey, right? And then you never get to the fucking point. You just keep saying that. It's a nightmare I've had. And I'm in the laundry room and I can't get out and it's really cold.
But surely this stuff ends up on the cutting room floor, man. Do you subject the listeners to this?
That's the problem as well. I've no idea what's in or out.
I just frantically smash the keyboard and hope the paint stops.
I think I do a lot of callbacks to jokes that I've cut out.
So I sound fucking mental, Damien. I sound fucking mental.
Yeah, just like that nun I killed.
So Kevin Spacey, right? In this movie, he has these fatty corpuscles on his face, right? And I thought, because I hadn't seen Kevin Spacey like this, I thought that would be something they would reference in the movie. That would be some kind of joke they were building up to, because he has these 2 lumps on bizarre points on either cheek, right? One's kind of on his right
What? You mean
upper cheek,
you mean
almost
his cheeks?
on his...
You mean his cheeks?
His cheeks, yeah.
What? He's got his fat. What? He's got fat cheeks. Is that what you're saying?
No. They're like these two lumps. They're these two like, they're these two like mounds. They're kind of to say like fatty corpuscles. These weird kind of like lumps, right? One is like on his left lower cheek. The other is like almost under his right. Well, it's like so far up his jaw. It's almost like at the eye, the eye, right? And I thought this was going to be like some kind of joke that he's got some kind of deformity. They kind of not deformity, but he's got some kind of weird look. They would play around with it, but no, they don't mention it at all. And it got me wondering: is that just what Kevin Spacey was until he had like this stuff carved out of his face?
He was just lumpy.
Yeah, maybe so.
I'm just looking at pictures now, and you're right. He does have lumps.
And he obviously looks different to what everyone kind of understands now, because this is 30 years ago. He's much younger, right?
Right.
But still so. But this is, I mean, this must be like prior to some kind of plastic surgery. That was kind of nuts. I couldn't take my eyes off it. And I thought it might have just been a prop, but obviously not, because they don't do anything with it in the movie. It's like, damn, man, that's weird.
Google, explain Kevin Spacey's lumps. So yeah, Kevin Spacey had a cyst that was removed after it grew to painful proportions. Yeah, it was
How
Kevin
big did
Spacey.
it fucking get?
This is outlined by the book Looking Closer, which is a biography of him. Here is a quote from the book. Spacey does have 3 genuine scars. The crease above the lip of his left eye is the legacy of a childhood altercation with a cat. The dimple on his left cheek results from a cyst that has been removed by surgery in the late 80s after it grew to painful proportions. In See No Evil, Hear No Evil, it is particularly prominent. He also bears a small sort of V-shaped furrow above one eye, the mark left by a cardboard coat hanger cover thrown at him by Randy during a spat between the siblings in 1968. For a moment there, for some reason I thought that Randy was the orangutan that he used to live with. That does make sense, though, doesn't it? Couldn't you imagine Kevin Spacey living with an orangutan? Like, not with any other monkey, but an orangutan. Is it orangutan or is it an orangutan?
Orangutan, actually. Right?
Is
Try
it?
and
No,
respect the
seriously.
native language.
No, stop driving my horse.
Stop creaming my corn.
Ugh. Oh. Oh, right between the toes. Orangutan or orangutan?
Orangutan. I don't think there's a G on the end. I think there are several silent G's in the spelling of the word, but not on the end.
Is there any market for a sort of tango beverage called orangutan?
Well, yeah, but maybe,
Is there?
Maybe keep your mouth shut, because maybe we can fucking corner it, all right? Tango seems to have died a death. It's not as prominent as it once was, The adverts in the 90s were fucking great, but, no one talks about it anymore. Maybe there needs to be a new drink. I think people are fed up with the new, Fanta, with the rebranding of the logo. It gets more childish every time. The opinion of that seems to be dying a death. So maybe we fucking come in, we want to break into the orange soda market. This might be our in. Don't fucking blow our load before we even got a fucking...
Sorry,
before we got a foot in the door.
Do we have a collective load? Because I imagine you owe me some, if that's true.
Oh my god! Yes. Can I? So do I have to? Do I have to be in the room when this requisition takes place, or can I kind of just mail it out there?
Just owe it me. It's all right.
And never talking about it again. Again, this is cutting room floor material, so I'm not fucking putting this out there, Damien.
That should be the name of this podcast, Cutting Room Floor Material.
Episode or podcast? What did you say?
Whatever. So, Hear No Evil, See No Evil with Kevin Spacey's lovely lumps. Yeah.
One thing else that
yes.
occurred to me as well, right? So, we all know of Kevin Spacey's legacy,
We do know of Kevin
right?
Spacey, yes.
No, but his legacy now is essentially a serial rapist, for lack of a better term, even. I mean, what do you reckon?
Is it still alleged?
Well, I mean, you don't see him anymore. I think there's a reason.
I don't think that means you don't see him anymore. He's a rapist.
He's gotten better at it. He's had the fucking cyst reattached to his face so people don't recognize him anymore.
Oh no, this composite sketch has the cyst on the other side of the face. That doesn't make sense. It must be a different man.
It must be a different Spacey.
Fuck.
Man, the Spaceys are multiplying.
How many spaceships are there? I thought there were only 6.
I thought they were self-replicating after our previous discussion. They could be millions now, just hovering in lower orbit, waiting to strike.
Well, how would you contain a self-replicating Spacey army?
Well, we can't. That was the peril. That's why we were so fucking shit scared. It's merely a question of when. You know, we can't fight back at all. They've cornered the market on suborbit warfare. We can't get any weapons up there. It's whenever they want to fucking drop, and they will drop en masse.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I think if you got Whoopi Goldberg shouting,
"We don't care if you're gay,"
chasing after him, I think that would repel them. But she's got to really shout.
All right, so if we can infiltrate the spaceships, right, and we find out...
No, we're not doing that.
We try to requisition... we try and acquire the technology that they have. The manufacture of these fucking droids. If we can get some of that in, start making our own Whoopi Goldbergs, we get an army of Whoopi Goldbergs to kind of repel them.
Oh, God, imagine the carnage with Whoopi on Whoopi. Well, anyway, Hear No Evil, See No Evil is a film starring Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor. Gene Wilder is a blind man. No, I've got that wrong.
Gene Wilder plays a blind man.
Gene Wilder plays a deaf man.
Oh, even I got it wrong. Trying to be a fucking smart ass.
Richard Pryor plays a blind man. For some reason, they want to run a shop together, and then somebody.
I think that would be solvent as well.
Somebody leaves an illegal coin, which is actually a microchip, in the till of the shop. The two guys get framed for a crime, and then there's a big chase, and the baddie is also blind, and they confront him at the end, and that's it.
Well, they probably shoot him. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
then they do a little bit of zipline action.
The lady shoots him. There's a lady as well.
There's a lady, yeah.
So everything I said, just put her in there, and you've got the complete picture.
Well, yeah. I mean, Gene Wilder talks about
Jill,
how he's hired up.
His name is
Jeannie Wilder, Jane Wilder.
Do you know his real name was Jerome?
I did not know that. Is that bullshit? Or you just... Is that
true.
Actually correct? Okay, yeah. Okay. Did you know Stevie Wonder's real name is Steveland Morris?
Yes, I did know that.
So yeah, of course, Stevie. It's a play on Stephen. Steveland.
Did you know that Will Smith's name is actually Willard?
Oh, yes, I do. Yeah, that's fucking awesome. I love that. Willard Smith. I can't believe these names are still floating around.
What, Willard Smith?
Willard, yeah. I think if there's any Will, it's naturally a William, surely.
Who would win, Willard or Wellard from EastEnders? Do you remember Wellard? It was Robbie's dog.
It was very damning for the ratings for quite a long time, but they stuck it out until naturally the dog, course of nature.
Yeah,
died.
Killed. Oh, died.
Oh, died. Yeah, no. Well, we don't talk. It died of natural causes. We don't talk about that.
Yeah, it fell down the stairs.
Fell down the stairs because it was too old. It couldn't stand on its own legs. Nothing to do with the golf club that just swept the legs.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
And it fucking deserved it. I mean, to die, naturally.
40% of the cast were involved with it because it kept seeing the fucking scenes.
So, Hear No Evil, See No Evil. The last time I watched this movie was with your dad.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That must have, the better part of 10 years ago, no?
Yeah, you weren't present. It was last year.
I was going to say, when was I present? When was I not present while you were in that house for that long?
That would have been funny.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That must have been a blinding fucking shit I was taking.
No, but I watched it with you and your dad, and I seem to remember we didn't like it, and yet when I watched it again, I thought it was going to be good. I don't know why, but it wasn't.
No, I would say I know my dad picked it up because I think it was one of those things that even there was like a video rental shop like up the road, but that fucking had died many years before. But my dad would still come home with these bizarre fucking DVDs.
What
right?
was the video shop called? Oh, this is so English and so fucking 2000s. The video shop was called
Choices.
And did it have choices?
Video.
Did it fuck?
It
was the size of a bedroom.
Yep. Became an estate agents later on, and that made much more sense.
Yeah.
But I guess all their fucking surplus stock ended up in the fucking...
I remember going there once, and they had a whole 3 shelves of nothing but Bulletproof Monk.
I remember seeing a lot of Joe Dirt on the shelves there.
Fucking hell, really? Okay.
Yeah, and I had like no idea what it was, and I just so I will make sure I will never see this in my life. And like, every now and again, I see stuff about Adam Sandler and stuff like that, and his kind of his SNL buddies and stuff like that. And I guess what's his name? David Spade was the lead in it. And finally, like stuff about Joe Dirt and like the contents of the actual movie have like finally fucking bled their way slowly to me after like 15 years. And I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting because I kind of made a conscious effort to avoid it for so long, but still, click, goodbye.
I watched Joe Dirt when I was about 10, and my mum had a friend who would come over and bring
Hit you with a stick.
Bring these pirated VHSs. And I don't know why she would do it, because we wouldn't pay her anything and we wouldn't ask her. And I remember seeing Spider-Man 2 like that, or Spider-Man, whatever. And I never wanted to see any of them because the quality was always just so shit. Like, it wasn't so much that somebody had shot it in a cinema. It was more like they like re-recorded it like 100 times.
Oh, God.
You know, which wouldn't make sense. I mean, it didn't make any sense for it to be so bad. And I remember watching Joe Dirt like that, and I was about 10 when I watched that one, and it was before I kind of understood what a flop was, and I couldn't understand it because I could see that it was an expensive movie.
Well, I haven't seen it, but I got everything I needed from the fucking box
It's
art.
really good.
It's
really good. You should watch it.
It's fucking amazing. Yeah.
Next week we're doing Joe Dirt.
Oh, and that's why I bought this gun. I bought a gun, by the way.
Okay, have you got any bullets?
No, but the
handle looks
heel
sharp.
has been solid metal. You know, if I fucking really club myself in the head with it, it should do some fucking damage.
What did you call it? The heel?
Heel? Is that right? Heel?
I like that. No, I don't think that is right, but I like that. It's kind of like you're a 19th century policeman.
What I'm going to do...
Damn, the heel on the fusel mechanism. Crikey there, Archimedes. Another notch in the furniture.
Back to periwinkle rough for me. So yeah, I've jimmied up an elaborate rig on the wall with this gun. So
okay,
yeah. Heel out first. I'm just going to run into it real quick. If I sharpen, I've got some kind of angle files. If I work at it, I can get a nice edge on it, and if hopefully sharp enough to penetrate the skull, this should be pretty quick.
Right, very much like Peeping Tom. If you've seen that movie.
I have not seen Peeping Tom. Do elaborate.
It's about a man who goes around filming himself murdering people with a spear.
Okay. Sounds fucking badass.
It's
shit, Damien. You're just a simpleton.
It's made in 1960. I'll see no more. I'll say no more. Oh, fucking hell.
Oh, yeah, I just punched it in. Peeping Tom, 1960.
Yeah.
It's the first thing that comes up.
Yeah. It's a film that is very much 1960.
Okay, well, I'm going to leave that open. I can come back to that later.
Yeah. So, Kevin Spacey's cysts.
Do you reckon that the plastic surgeon that performed that...
It was not a plastic surgeon. You just lance it. Just
GP.
Bang. Bang. Look,
no, I don't think...
Oh, look at that. Is that a bird? Bang.
No. Kevin Spacey was far too entitled
not for Kevin
at this
Spacey.
point.
Oh, look over there. Is that a boy? Bang.
Someone just like fucking clubs him, like real fucking sharp with a belt, but the buckle side first, right? And then just rips it out. That's what happened. That's the altercation that they spoke of. I was wondering if, like, the GP or whatever you would call it in the States, right? Who performed the procedure? Did Kevin Spacey have enough clout at that point? Was he famous enough that this guy was starstruck and kept the waste material? And that somewhere in a freezer somewhere there is a little jar with this like fatty lump from Kevin Spacey's face.
I think that even if you're starstruck, most people wouldn't do that.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say I think most people would not do that, even if they were kind of obsessed. I don't think most people would keep the fucking contents of Kevin Spacey's cyst. What, on a plate?
You think like you don't think
where
like...
would you keep it, in like a film canister or something? What would
No,
you do with it?
like...
Would you have it on display? Would you give it a sniff every now and then? What would be the fucking point?
You just get like a mason jar, get some like alcoholic liquid, something like that.
Well, then you
alcoholic
just
spirit,
dilute it. You gotta have the
just
homeopathic
preserve it.
version.
It's fine, you know. Just jimmy up the lid with like a needle or something like that. So you prick it, so it's suspended like midway through the glass, so it works as a nice object. It's not just like pooling at the bottom. It's kind of ungainly. It's good for cocktail parties. It's a talking point, man.
I definitely think that people who buy costumes that have been on films, especially people who buy shoes, I think those people should be screened.
All I got is people who buy shoes should be screened. Can you just
People who buy shoes that have been worn by actors and actresses should be screened.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
I think so. There's one of the guys that I work with. I don't know if I mentioned this. I talked
hugely
about
famous?
Marcus. No. But he, I know you know lots about it. I probably didn't say anything in the podcast, but that's, I guess, for another time. But he used to collect autographs, and he was going through a divorce when I knew him, unsurprisingly, because he started fucking people in the kitchen while his wife was off in Germany.
Really?
Right.
God, it's a bit hot.
But he used to collect autographs, right?
Did he?
And when he started shitting himself during the divorce. It wasn't because they had this fucking palatial house in Germany or stuff like that. He was worried that his autographs would be fucking tampered or taken away because he had 80 grand's worth of fucking autographs in his fucking library.
Wow.
And I thought, what, you've met all these people and you've been pursuing these people, this, that, and the other? Because I know at the time where I was working, there was a lot of celebrity clientele. And I know there were a couple of nights that he would definitely hang around trying to catch people as they were leaving. I know there was one evening that the cast of The Expendables was in, and he was out there fucking trying to fucking dog Terry Crews.
That's who you go after. I mean, I agree. I love Terry Crews. Absolutely.
I mean, that's exactly who I would have made a fucking beeline for. No, he's got Bogart signatures and stuff like that. People, he just
What? He's got Humphrey Bogart's signature.
Yeah. What I found out was that he wasn't meeting these celebrities and getting autographs. He was buying them. So it's like, you talk about 60 grand's worth. It's like, oh, right. So you won't. Of course, it's because you've been buying this stuff online.
Could have been buying Bitcoin.
You'd be a fucking millionaire. 60 grand's worth of Bitcoin now. Oh, it's unthinkable.
Benedicts,
Jesus.
we'll call them.
I was in some poxy fucking trains. I think it was Oxford Circus, right? They had this fucking cash machine, and it had this conversion for Bitcoin on it. I didn't realize just how obscenely fucking valuable it was. It's like, if you want one Bitcoin, you'd have to fucking fork over 1,000 Great British pounds.
It was like 16,000 at one point, wasn't it?
Really? I mean, I saw this like a year ago. I don't know how it's fucking, if it's still going up, down, or whatever, but I was still fucking aghast at that.
I'd rather buy copper. It's always going up, you see. It's always, ever so slowly. It's always increasing in price. I'd rather do that. That's a better investment. I'll just buy 4 tons of copper. Just keep it outside.
Yeah.
Put a tarp over it.
Yeah. I'll climb up, little rope ladder,
yeah.
Put a little fucking throw pillow, sit on it,
I'll
It's sometimes sunny over here.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
So, 2019, I'll buy it for £133,000, and then 2032, I'll sell it for like 150. It'll be totally worth it.
And I'll probably die.
Yeah, and then I'll
die. I'll be buried with cash that other people can't have.
Because I'd have spit all over it.
Yeah, I'm not being buried, Damien.
Yeah,
I'm going to be in the middle of the fucking street covered in cash.
I'm just spoiling it.
Just police line around me. They have to wait until my natural remains have decayed to nothing.
So, speaking of cash, what do you think about the whole story in Hear No Evil, See No Evil of essentially who's got our coin, our microchip coin?
It's superb because, despite all odds, these people, these professional criminals and the police force themselves seem to be consistently evaded by people that don't have command their full senses.
Yes. By people who are very determined.
Well, not determined enough. I would say the problem with this movie is, everyone who isn't Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor, they just didn't want it enough. All right?
Yeah. And Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor, they kind of didn't want it either.
They wouldn't want any of it. They were stitched up. They wanted nothing to do with it.
So
they were the people that wanted it the least.
One of the problems of this movie was everyone involved didn't want to be involved with it. Like, there was no conflict because everyone was like, sorry about that. Oh, sorry about that. Here, did you drop this microchip? Oh, yes, we did. Sorry, were you going to steal this? No, we weren't. Oh, well, that's good. That saved us a lot of time. Yes, it has. About 90 minutes, in fact.
Now the audience can get along with their day. We've done them a service.
I kind of remember when I first saw it thinking this, and I definitely thought this the second time round. I went into it again, sort of not really remembering how bored I got with it, but I think the premise is so good. And you've got Gene Wilder and Richard Pryor. They are both really funny.
Yeah.
You know, and they're really funny in this. They are good in this. And I thought Kevin Spacey was good in this as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's just sort of wasted instantly. It's this premise of a blind guy and a deaf guy, and they work in a shop, and they have to work together. And it just like immediately just throws that away and just goes on this heist that could have easily had two people who weren't blind or deaf. Like them being blind and deaf didn't really matter.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very interesting portrayals. I mean, one of the things I kind of wanted to talk about is just at any point in this movie, and I think it was the most fun I had with it was, and I wasn't that down on it. I think of the things that we've watched, this was probably the most palatable by far.
Yeah, I don't think it was terrible. I just thought it was sort of, it was very saggy.
Quite vanilla, yeah. So the most fun I had, considering these interesting portrayals of blind and deaf people, was at any point in the movie, you can just hit space when Richard Pryor is on screen, and Richard Pryor pretending to be blind, he just has this psychotic look on his face at all fucking times. I could challenge you to find any point in the movie where you can just hit spacebar and he's not looking like he's going to eat your unborn children.
You're wrong. What he looks like, I don't know, Rich. You know that impression he does of his Alsatian dog, where he's talking to his dog and his dog's going, I don't know, Rich. He does that exact same face. He's doing his dog face.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe, but I
Do you know that Gene Wilder learnt to lip read for this role?
But he could still hear.
No, but he learnt to look like he was doing. Well, he learnt to do it.
Well, I mean, I can like stare at someone's mouth. I mean, what's the distinction here?
Well, I guess he put his fingers in his ears and he learnt how to do it, and he just wanted to understand what blind people think and how they're
blind
limited.
People?
Deaf people. Ear blind people.
Ear blind people. People with no ear balls.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess he just wanted to understand. I don't know.
Well,
I think that's quite a positive sign. You don't have to shit on it.
No, I shouldn't shit on it. I really like Gene Wilder, and I think that's actually quite sweet. But that being said, I still think Richard Pryor as a blind man was less than nuanced, I would say.
Yeah, Richard Pryor went to a blind school to study them as well.
Yeah, fuck off. Did he fucking bollocks do that? Richard Pryor rocked up and just fucking... I refuse to look people in the eye. Is what happened. All right, so I guess he's going to be blind then, all right? We'll write it in.
It wrote it around his ego. Is that what you're saying? I remember Gene Wilder saying that he tried to be friends with Richard Pryor, and Richard Pryor just wasn't interested.
Really?
Yeah.
Not
like in a nasty way, just like he was he had his own shit going on.
Gene Wilder would come over bringing sandwiches from the craft table, and he would just like throw them on the fucking floors. You get back over there, other side of the fucking studio. If you try and look at me, eye contact is a fucking no. Gene Wilder was in tears for most of the production, and for Stir Crazy as well.
I don't know. I guess being addicted to crack is like having a baby. You know, you just don't want people round.
Well, report me for licking cutlery and making eye contact to the manager of your local Denny's if it isn't time for your horoscope. Aquaries, January 21st to February 19. Mundane tasks including errands, written correspondence, and menial housework might bore you all day, Aquaries. But the Stygian blackness of night? Well now, that's a whole different barrel of herring now, isn't it? You will awaken late morning to find your washing folded, dishes neatly put away, taxes filed, and garden trim and proper. Night you sure can put a bit of stick about when needs must, can't they? Best you ignore the missing butcher's knife and freshly turned soil. You can buy another knife, though this is starting to get expensive, what with cutlery prices being what they are. Also, Be aware, Night you may have catfished Karen from accounting. Just a heads up. Financial issues might prove quite the bulwark with regards to your self-expression today. Perhaps you need a little more liquid capital before proceeding with any of your more high-minded schemes. You usually aren't one to let this kind of fiscal constraint stop you. But then again, the man from the bank was very insistent. Angry even. You may not see the validity of his counter-argument right now, but give it a week. Then revisit the issue with renewed zeal. If arming the homeless is a good idea, then the stars will be on your side. Jupiter has a bit of a strop on this month, so you will find this period naturally gives you a stronger magnetic appeal. This will make your keys easier to find, but watch out, you may get that butcher's knife back after all. You will become strong and sexy, the envy of other men, more than a fitting image for the best quality body pillow, the ones with the textured fabric. The toast of Hollywood, you will develop the ability to read women's minds and cruise through the desert in leather, and you'll be right to do it too. The King of Scots, a god among lesser men, a pillar of pure, mute, sexual masculinity. Then you'll say the word
numpty
in a heated call with an ex-spouse, and it will all be downhill from there. I know, life is rarely fair, but please, enlighten me. Exactly how are the Jews responsible, Mel? For it seems to me that you lived your life like a candle in the wind. Unreliable. Your lucky locale is here. Your lucky time is now. This week's game is the most dangerous, and your primal drive is to survive. The General has kindly seen fit to give you but a short lead, so I'd make haste were I you. Give it a good old college try. Goodbye, and
good luck.
Let's do it now. Let's do the Joe Rogan thing now. Who's Joe Rogan? Who's Joe Rogan? Welcome to my new podcast. Who's Joe Rogan?
Who's Joe Rogan? It's not Damien.
And it's not me.
Tune in next week.
And that's when
to find out if one of us will sack the fuck up and be Joe Rogan.
That's right. My little podcast. Our third presenter is Joe Rogan, and it is Joe Rogan. Imagine that.
And
we don't advertise it at all. We do not want any more listeners. We're happy with the listeners we've got. We do not want more people.
Oh, that happened right now. I hear that voice just come in and say, "Hey guys, I would fucking cack my pants. It would fire through my office chair."
Hello, freak bitches.
I'm going to take over now. We swap. We just come out. What would you do, Damien, if that was it? And that's how we introduced it.
Well, you've been tag teaming, blowjobs.
We never mention it on his channel or anything.
Well, I might give you some. I'll give you some fucking space.
That would,
I don't know if I can.
Be funny.
I thought I was hearing something in the back. I assumed
you wouldn't want to talk to Joe Rogan.
Man, not if you're sucking his dick.
Well, all right, fine.
I'll abstain this time.
You
Damien.
can have a go then.
I've already bought the plane tickets. It's fine.
Well, imagine if I called you up and I said, "Hi, Damien. Joe Rogan's lent me 20 grand, but as collateral, I've said that you're gonna suck his dick, and he's on his way." Would that be like?
I've already taken the cash out of the bank and I've fucking burnt it. So you're fucked,
Damien. I've invented this new drug. It's like 10 times as addictive as heroin, and it has none of the kick. And I've injected it all into my veins. And he's coming for you. Would that be like a John Wick situation where you're just running and there's just this Joe Rogan music? No, it'd be like Darude Sandstorm, wouldn't it? That's Joe Rogan's music.
All I hear in my head is "Hello, freak bitches." 3, 2, 1, and we're live. Oh my god! Around every corner.
It's just that. You just hear that slowly getting louder and louder and louder until you're sucking his dick.
You don't even see it fucking thrust up into your mouth. It's like, when was I sucking this dick? And for how long? I don't know.
Hello, freak bitches.
I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Freak bitches.
No, it's taken a dark turn. A very dark turn. Well, not a dark turn, just a very gay one.
Yeah.
So, I thought our original brief was see no, hear no, blah, blah,
Whatever.
Christmas stylies,
Whatever.
right?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
So how we make it Christmas? All right, I only
Is it?
have one idea.
I didn't come up with that. My idea, it's just a white guy and a black guy, and they've got a shop together, and they've both got a disability, and one is Robert Pattinson, and he's a vampire, and the other is Wesley Snipes, and he's Blade.
Okay.
And that's it. And they just have a shop together, and they don't do anything. They just have a shop.
So Blade comes up, he answers the ad. He's like, yeah, okay, fine. What about, I'm looking for like $200 a week. Yeah, sure. Immediately plunges a fucking katana through Robert Pattinson's heart.
Or like it ends.
And it turns out to be like a crow situation as well. It's like, we didn't realize it was a real sword.
So he's
Robert
actually
Pattinson immediately
dead.
fucking pisses the heart. He was dead very quickly.
Imagine trying to get away with that. We didn't realize it was a real sword.
We thought it was plastic. He did that thing with the pencil, when you kind of wobble it at the bottom, it looks all wobbly, so we thought it was plastic. He did that with a sword. It looked wobbly. No, it's just too fast for the eye. Whoa, wobbly. Sorry. Is that how you choose to conduct yourself in this inquest? For God's sake, man, get your shit together.
No,
Man has died.
No, it's Blade and it's Robert Pattinson, and they're together in the shop, but then you realise, like, oh, that's the end. We go, so, that's the first scene, and then the second scene, 5 months before, and it's Robert Pattinson getting married to that skank, and it's just like a Twilight scene, and it's awful, and it goes on forever. It goes on for like 7 minutes, but it feels like 30 minutes, and it's just so shit, and you're just about to turn it off, and then you're like, is that the nightclub music from Blade? And it's just like getting louder and louder and louder and louder and louder. And you're like, what the fuck is that? And then like in 3 seconds, like everyone's dead. And he's just cutting through these vampires. And then they're all like in their like fancy wedding attire, and he's just murdering them. And that's my 2018 version of See No Evil, Hear No Evil.
All right, so they graduate.
And then Robert Pattinson's like, oh, thank fuck for that. And they bro fist, and then they're like, yeah, bros forever. Bros before skanks. Bros before that skank there,
climbs up the
specifically.
Floor. So with the nightclub, does it do like does it play out like Blazing Saddles, where it becomes this fourth wall thing where the movie plays out and just like Blade just immediately appears in all the fucking scenes, just destroying everything in his path. And it cuts to the next thing, and Blade is also jumping through the fucking set pieces with this fucking thing, just plunging this fucking.
Like the sound recorder is like being
neck.
decapitated and stuff, and we get a sword coming through the camera, breaking the lens, coming through the camera, and then the real camera pulls out of even that, and the camera operator gets the end of the sword in his eye, and he's dead. And then Blade goes up to a lighting rig and chops it down, and he electrocutes someone who's trying to run away. Everyone's running away as well. That's really important. No one is resisting him. Everyone's running away, and everyone dies.
Right. Okay. So do people see this movie in the movie theaters? Or
Only in their
the
dreams.
So what? Maybe we roll all the credits at the beginning of the movie. So once Wesley Snipes is done with his rampage, and he obviously goes to the fucking cameras. That's it. We just cut to black. There's no pomp and circumstance. We don't linger on it. We just lights on. Everyone just gets out, clears out the fucking out of the theater. Yeah, movie's done. Snipes is done. You have no idea where he's offset. He could be on his way to this very theater. If you don't haul ass, that'll be Snipes coming through the fucking that fucking screen in front of you.
No,
and he will not take your fucking shit.
So it ends, and it's like a wobbly camera, and it's sort of going in and out of focus, and also at the same time it's sort of zooming in and out because the people who made it don't quite know what they're doing, and it looks naff, and they've sort of overdone it, and you can tell, and it's doing that, and Wesley Snipes is just chopping people up off screen, and you can hear them, and they're screaming and they're begging for mercy, and it's just horrible and nasty. And then we cut, and then we just go to like any random pop song, like Mia, MIA, just whatever. Who fucking cares?
I was going to say, call me maybe. I mean, it's a little bit out of date, but it could do with a bit of a resurgence.
Fucking
Snipes, I think, could give that song a little bit the credit it fucking deserves.
Fucking Spice Girls. Who gives a shit?
Yes, why not?
Didn't your dad almost write a Spice Girls song?
Yeah, I don't know. That might be bullshit. I know it's when my dad was working for EMI. I know that he worked in the same office with Pete Waterman, and I don't know if he. My dad said he was broached by Pete Waterman to write for the Spice Girls, and my dad was like, "No, I don't want to do that." I've got better things to do. It's like, okay. And he told me the story. It's like, well, yeah. So I guess he was expecting me to kind of respect that decision, which I do to a degree. He did the stuff that he wanted to do, but then obviously MP3s came around and kind of like destroyed fucking staff writers for those companies. And then it's like, I really wish I'd wrote that song for the fucking Spice Girls now.
Oh wow, yeah, that's a tragedy. I do respect him not doing it though.
Yeah, no, I can't argue with him. He's never.
I like the idea that this is sliding doors now. In another universe. In another universe, it just cuts and like we're having this same conversation, but I'm like 500 pounds and stuck behind a desk, and I'm just constantly eating potato chips, and you're like in a white suit and with like gold rimmed sunglasses, and for some reason you're doing this podcast all down a massive cell phone, even though you're really rich. You've got this stupidly light cell phone. It's just like that. If your dad had written that song for the Spice Girls, then again, it might have been shit and they might have died. So,
well, if my dad wrote something that was so obscenely awful that upon playback in the studio, all the Spice Girls heads would have fucking exploded, fucking Scanners style. I'd fucking fist pump him every fucking day I saw him.
He'd probably be very rich as well.
He was hired by the Russians to infiltrate EMI and Warner Brothers.
Yeah,
just to take the fucking Spice Girls down.
Just Tattoo could be number one.
It could have happened, man. It could have happened.
You'd be there and you'd be smoking. Bizarrely, you're smoking a big fat cigar, but through a cigarette holder. It's just not right. And you're in this white suit and you've got brown loafers, and the sort of loafers that have the tassels on them. What are those about? Ugh.
Fuck. That's fucking revolting.
Do you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Like the long tassels, like the bobbles, and they go everywhere. And why can old people do that as well? Why can old people wear hats with fucking pom-poms on and shit? Fuck old people.
Because they're about to die. Doesn't really matter what they wear. Young person does that. You can chase them down the fucking street. They'll put up a fight. When you exact aggression on them, it's not a guaranteed kill. So you have a chance of walking away from it, relatively without repercussion. Old person, you can't take it upon themselves. You let them be. Of course they're going to go down. You understand? You do understand, right?
Yeah, no, I'm just sorry. I just was laughing.
And on reflection as well, I actually think that offer might have been put to my father, and that he wasn't rejecting the Spice Girls thing on a matter of integrity at all. More of cowardice, that he wasn't prepared to take a life and work for the Russian government. And now I can't look at him without thinking, you miserable fucking yellow-bellied fuck.
Because the Spice Girls were but one life. They were a single organism. Much like apparently have a mutual bucket of cum.
Ugh. Fills up a guitar. Now, it's been a year. I think that's what we said was a good time frame.
Wait, so
this guitar is fucking lousy with cum. You should stop mailing in those fucking vials.
Is that what we
It's
decided?
disgusting.
You can fill up a guitar in a year.
No, I don't remember what we said. I think at least the life. No, I think we said like 50,000 lows. All right, let's get to work, people.
What? 50,000 loads. That's an outlandish figure.
Well, someone will tell me that I'm wrong. They'll tell me the correct figure, and I won't have to do any work. It'll be fine.
Right, hang on. Private. How much cum do you have?
.com.
It's all serious stuff that's come up, by the way. Just how dare you laugh?
Oh, so I'm sure it's like cancer scares. I don't have as much cum as I used to. Is one of my balls about to drop off?
Okay, I'll be more specific. How much cum do you make in your life?
I'm actually fascinated now. How much cum can I expect to make?
Well, for some reason, okay, so it's given me normal semen volume in sort of like the, the preview box that Google has.
Mm-hmm.
In that, it's done that, and it's highlighted certain words, so I will emphasize those words. The average amount of semen that a guy releases may surprise you. According to a World Health Organization standards, the average amount of semen that a guy produces per ejaculation is A, paltry 2.5 milliliters. For you,
Poultry.
Americans out there, that's around half a teaspoon.
Oh,
Half a
dear.
teaspoon? You have that for breakfast, don't you, Damien?
Yeah, I must have find like at least a tablespoon already.
Okay, yeah, this is what
My
I
God,
want. So we're on to it now. How much cum do you throw away over the course of a lifetime? Oh my God, we have actual answers here.
it's a terrifying amount.
Between the ages of 11 and 50, a man is likely to produce 71 litres of ejaculate.
Oh my fucking God, that is disgusting.
Additionally, between the ages of 50, he's likely to produce another 10.5 litres.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Okay, so how many gallons would that be? You crunch the numbers, Damien. Oh, 21.5 gallons.
Well, I've got 80 litres of
Oh, fuck.
17.
Okay. So how?
0.6 gallons.
So what's
imperial gallons.
What's the interior volume of an acoustic guitar?
Interior volume of the average acoustic guitar.
Yeah, you should know this.
Were we
Come
not
on.
this thorough?
Come on.
But they come in various shapes and sizes, man.
Well, an average one. You know, the average one, the Spondetti model. Mel magazine is calling this half a bathtub of cum.
Someone has been asking about what the body volume of a Gibson ES135 is, and that's a big guitar.
Mm-hmm.
Someone wants to know how to fill it up with liquid.
Yeah, I can't find it.
Yeah?
Yeah. Fuck.
I tell you what I'll do is I've got this cheap piece of shit up north.
Damien, it could take you 10 years to fill it up.
I'm not going to do that, but what I can do, I mean, it did belong to my grandfather, but it's a piece of shit. It was, it's nothing. I'll get up there, and we say, half a teaspoon? What I'll do is, I know, but they've got teaspoons up there. I'll just use regular liquid, tap liquid. I think they call it water, and I'll conduct an experiment.
But don't measure it in teaspoons. Are you sure that?
Well, I thought they said that the average load is half a teaspoon, which doesn't seem right to me.
It doesn't matter about half the average load. Just we don't care about the average load. Just put in.
Just the volume.
Just work
okay.
out the volume. Just
Right,
put it in litre by litre. Are you really going to do that?
Yeah, of course I'm going to fucking do it. I mean, my dad will be in tears. It's something that he holds on to.
Well, don't do it to
a memory of
that
his
one
father.
then.
No, I'm committed now. I've said it on the podcast, which means it's law. Doesn't it?
Doesn't it?
We ask you. It's a resounding yes. Desecrate your part of your grandfather's legacy for our amusement. I'll record it while I do it as well. You just hear me my dad crying in the background.
Yeah, you make a mockery.
Yes. Imagine if this was cum.
So you've just got to work. Now, did we decide? Is the guitar on its back?
Well, yeah, you'd lay it down.
You
flat.
lay it down.
That's
yeah.
how you get
right.
because you could.
So you get it to the brim.
The brim would essentially be the
brim.
sound hole,
Yeah,
right? If
yeah,
you
the sound
if you
hole,
stood
yeah.
it upright, it's like a third of the guitar, which is not being utilized, and that's not good enough. There could be it's like 30% more cum in there. That's a waste. It's time for our annual cum talk.
So yeah, you had a festive retelling of See No Evil, Hear No Evil. It's just called Say No Evil, is it?
No, I didn't. I didn't have a festive retelling. I'm trying to bring it around full cycle. The only thing I could generate is that obviously the microchip in question. The only thing I could think to make it festive is would that just be a chocolate coin naturally?
And people really want
The shit
it.
you get at
It's delicious chocolate.
Yeah, that really cheap milk chocolate, which is the best chocolate you eat all year.
Oh God, it's not even milk chocolate though, is it? It's like got something in it to stop it melting.
It's brown milk with sugar in it.
It's like army chocolate. Yeah,
But it fucking works.
yeah, well, yes, in giving you
It's
diabetes.
like what we don't realize. You don't realize it's so loaded with sugar. It's as good as a ration bar. You could eat like half of that, and you'd have enough calories to do the fucking day.
Yeah.
A good day of labor.
Oh.
Like all you were supposed to eat during the December month is just your advent calendar. Fuck any fucking additional meals. You're really doing your body a disservice if you do. Stick to water and that's it.
Yeah. It's exactly like granola bars. You know, granola bars, I mean, of course they're full of sugar if you're eating them all at once. Who does that? What sort of greedy mad person does that? You eat tiny little bits, tiny crumbs. A granola bar is meant to last you a week, maybe 2.
Good God, man.
Granola.
You're supposed to share it amongst amongst the family.
Yeah.
You're supposed to provide.
Puts them down for the
Can't
rat.
matter You.
What's your idea for the remake? You don't have one, do
That
you?
was it. A fucking chocolate coin. That was all I had. That's all I had, man.
That's not an idea for a remake. It's changing one thing.
I mean, I guess it counts as an idea in, a very broad sense.
I guess
you
it
didn't
doesn't.
All right, let's clarify.
You're
Let's get a
okay,
definition of
you're-
idea
okay,
here.
you're making this movie again today. Who's in it?
Okay, I'm going to say, like, Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder again. But Gene Wilder, blackface. Richard Pryor, whiteface. There we go. But Richard Pryor is still blind. Gene Wilder's still deaf. Turns it on its fucking head.
Why not Samuel L. Jackson and Gordon Ramsay?
Gordon Ramsay?
Yeah. Come on, it'd be fun if he
But-
was blind.
Yeah, but that's
and
not,
he was in a room
we're not
with Samuel L.
remaking the movie at this
Jackson.
point. We're just stipulating a world where Gordon Ramsay is blind and like Samuel L. Jackson
Just
just giving him
prodding him.
shit for no reason. The fucking swipes his cane and just like fucking
There's-
sweeps the
there's-
leg every
there-
2 fucking seconds.
They're still celebrities. They're going to an award ceremony together for something, some charity shit, and they're just going together and they don't really like each other, but like their wives know each other and they're going together. And Samuel L. Jackson's just like prodding Gordon Ramsay, and Gordon Ramsay's fucking having none of it, and it's just 90 minutes of that.
So the peril is
There's
that
no attempt at a story. That's the future of films. There's no attempt at a story. It's just fuck it.
the peril is that Samuel L. Jackson and Gordon Ramsay have an established relationship, dare I say friendship, but it's gone public. Obviously, Gordon Ramsay is now blind, and Samuel L. Jackson has not been kind to that. And Samuel L. Jackson, there has been a huge fucking backlash. And for whatever reason, as you say, they're going to an award ceremony, but they don't have a driver, right? Because the company, they've seen this, what's going on with Samuel L. Jackson, this hateful fucking comments in the media. They want nothing to do with it. They don't want to they don't want to throw themselves in with that. So they fucking cancel the ride. It's Samuel L. Jackson and Gordon Ramsay having to get to this award ceremony on foot through the public.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson, right?
Oh, there's a bit
is
where
so
they have to
fucking
rob a
psychotic.
saxophonist and everything. Yeah.
He sticks to his guns. He's not going to give fucking Gordon a good ride.
No.
In his mind,
No.
he's trying to like fucking he's trying to fucking bolster him up. He's trying to fucking strengthen him up.
This is fascinating. And before they have to drive through the park, let's just talk about why Sam Jackson hates blind people so much. Discuss. I assume you have a good reason.
I assume that what you've said there was thought
You didn't
put
just
behind
pull
it.
out of your ass.
No, of course not. No. You've had that coffee and you're obviously ready for the movement.
The
and as opposed to actually taking a shit, you give me this.
The thing
Well, no,
is
it's not that.
is Samuel L. Jackson. He has pioneered for years and years and years, for all of his adult life, really. Certainly for all of his professional life, he has pioneered for equal rights for everybody, no matter of your faith, no matter of your sexuality or how you identify. No matter who you are, he's always campaigned for equal rights, especially for people with disabilities, because his father was disabled, but secretly Samuel L. Jackson hated his father, who was blind.
I think Samuel L. Jackson has been drinking a lot, and he just sees a weak white man, and he's having none of it. He's gonna fucking
Gordon
really
Ramsay?
dress him down.
Why is Gordon Ramsay weak? Because he's blind.
Because he's blind.
Okay, so
He's
you've made
he's
it a
freshly
race thing.
blind, right? Oh, why not? We've
All right.
we've got to establish a motive here.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's legitimate, but I'm struggling for ideas here. You caught me on the back foot. I haven't thought this through. I'll just point my finger at the first thing I can think of.
Okay, well,
One's black, one's white. Must be a hate crime.
he's also Zeus from Die Hard 3.
No, from the mythology, the
Yes.
Greek mythology.
He's-
He's got a big
he's-
fuck off beard.
Do you remember that film, Black Zeus?
I'm sure it's out there. Didn't they do that on Mystery Science Theatre?
Fucking
We
should
must
be.
have watched it.
I don't know. Didn't we watch Black Jason once?
You say Black Jason, the only thing I can think of is the kid that we went to school with. After a day in the fucking coal mines.
If he was, if Jason was black, he'd be Juicy Hudson.
Of course he would be. Yes.
Speaking of Jason, do you know what I saw the other day? riding my motorbike with sexy Jason. Riding my motorbike with sexy Jason. Norman Reedus has a TV show, I think on Amazon, and it's him riding his bike and going on holiday.
Oh, I think I saw like a thumbnail. I didn't quite believe what it was.
It's like they fucking couldn't be bothered to mix it properly, so it's
Oh,
just
really?
like fucking music. And well, Norman Reedus is quite softly spoken, so it's sort of it's speaking like. And then me and my friend went to Venice Beach, which I came to 20 years ago, and I enjoy living in very much. And he says that whilst there's like this dance track going, and then his motorbike going, and it's fucking interminable. But
Yeah,
I like him, so
I can imagine. Yeah,
I'll watch
it's
some more.
Ride with Norman Reedus. I've got it up. Fucking hell! Get ready for season 3. Watch the teaser. I'm gonna have to fucking check this shit out. It's just the same picture of him in a fucking leather jacket and sunglasses. There are like 8 photos, and it's the same one over and over again. Fucking hell!
what a nice man.
I'm sure he's absolutely delightful, successful, sexy Jason.
How much cum do you think you could get on a motorbike?
I'm so glad you said motorbike, not Norman Reedus.
I mean, no, never mind.
All right, so what's the volume of a fucking motorcycle engine tank? Are we just saying the
we
engine
can
tank?
work out that, yeah, I suppose. Okay.
All right, are we talking about? The cylinder, everything, like the tires? I mean, what are the
Or
parameters?
are we
here?
just
'Cause I'm
talking about
confused.
what you displace if you throw a motorbike into a bath? Yeah, I see what you're saying.
There are several criteria for success here.
There is
I
a
mean, I
problem
need
with
to
testing
fucking-
criteria, yeah. Okay, well, I'll think about it. I'll get a spreadsheet and everything. And
Okay. In the meantime, I'll just punch in motorcycles full of cum. I'm sure that's not ill-advised at all.
oh, but seriously though, type in 2 girls, 1 cup. Because there was Joe Rogan watching that. Have you ever seen that?
What, Joe Rogan watching 2 Girls, 1 Cup?
No, you've seen 2 girls, 1 cup.
Oh, yeah, I've seen 2 Girls, 1 Cup.
I've never seen it.
Really?
Yeah.
Then you said, we must have touched on it before, and you thought, oh, that's nothing. You got to see 2 Girls, 1 Octopus.
Oh man, yeah. No, don't ever look at that. Don't ever look at that. Fuck you for bringing.
I
that
stopped
back.
doing this I think it was like maybe 10, 15 years ago. Someone said what you got to do is you just put in blue waffle on Google.
Oh, I remember that.
And you just hit I'm feeling lucky. Yeah, you do it.
What did the I'm feeling lucky button
It
do?
just it just took you to the first page of it would open up the page of the first search result.
Wow, I bet that got abused.
Do we still have it? Hang on, let's have a quick look. They must have fucking dispensed with that feature.
You'd hope.
No, they still have it. Why would you have that?
I've never used that.
it. Yeah, only that one instance where it was obviously a fucking. I've never used I'm feeling lucky on Google.
Type meat spin and then click I'm feeling lucky.
All right, now I'm starting to see the appeal. Meat spin.
Yeah.
I'm feel. All right, so I've got a thing that comes 18 plus adults only. Contact clear here to view. The world meat spin record is 10,112 spins.
Are you in?
All right, fucking hell. Oh man, I kind of don't want to. It needs
Go
to
on,
kind of
go on.
install an old fucking version of fucking Flash.
Do it.
Oh no! Oh no! I stomached 24 spins before that was enough.
What was it? What were you looking at? Describe to the viewers what you saw.
You fucking know what was there.
I have no idea.
You set me up, you bitch.
I did. You set me up. I didn't. What are you talking about?
Go for it yourself. See if you can stomach more than 24 fucking meat spins.
I think 24 meat spins is pretty gay, Damien. Whatever it is
Fuck
you're
you.
talking about.
The record is 10,112.
That's a dedicated computer somewhere. So someone must have acquisitioned a computer in a school just before they broke up for the summer holidays, right? That's how they did it.
Yeah. They didn't leave it on mute as well.
Yeah, they just leave it on mute, and it was just on all summer. And then when they came back, the first teacher to see this would just smelt the computer before they even saw it. It was just burnt out. It was just fucked because all it had been doing for 6 weeks non-stop was just meat spin.
It must be that. It's got to be something like that. Because the alternative is like there's someone that's obviously thinking, right, here's how I'm gonna fucking cement my fucking legacy. I'm gonna be the meat spin master, right? I'm gonna leave this
But
fucking
how would you prove
motherfucker
it?
running.
How would you prove it was you?
I don't know,
And who would
guess-
care?
I don't know. Maybe they do the kind of like some kind of like live stream with Twitch. Perhaps, I guess you can screenshot it, maybe, you can punch that in, you can see this guy still meat spinning and he's climbing up there. But if that's the case, you obviously get to a point, you think 1 million is like, that's a fucking benchmark, that's good. No, he's going for the fucking goal. It's fucking 2 million, 3 million, we'll go fucking 10 million.
Well, how long's
Fucking
10
clicks
million
over-
meat spins?
I have no fucking idea, alright, so I think it's like one meat spin a second, right?
Okay.
Maybe 2. I mean, I got to 24, that felt like less than 10 seconds, but I don't know. My mind kind of burnt out a little bit there.
Okay.
So maybe 2 a second, maybe. I don't know. Could we Google that? How many meat spins a second?
Yeah, I don't know about how many meat spins a second. I think you're going to have to look that up for yourself. But
I'm feeling lucky.
okay.
No, there's nothing. No. So it just comes up with... there's nothing. And I'm not going to fucking...
So, well, if it is 1 second, if one meat spin is 1 second, then that's
10 million seconds.
yes, which is almost 4 months.
Well, maybe if you found the right computer, I guess and
No, but I think you're right. I think if you got 24 meat spins, I don't think that was. I don't think it was a meat spin a second. I think it might have been 2 or 3 meat spins a second.
Okay.
So yeah, so
we're looking at maybe 2 months.
It could have been. It could have been a school summer,
Yeah, so it kind of equates, maybe.
or some sort of recess. Maybe it was in Congress when they had their recess.
Well, you don't realise, so obviously, like 10,112 is the record, but there are like 30 other records which are like right behind it
Yeah.
because it was every computer in the fucking
computer.
lab that was doing that. They're all singing fucking "You Spin Me Right Round" in tandem for fucking 2 months.
It was every computer in Parliament while they broke away for Christmas or whatever. Every computer. And it was just this room where every computer was switched on, its speakers were switched on, and you couldn't bear to be in that room for more than 2 or 3 seconds. It's just a torture room. Just the noise that would make.
Yeah, they got it wired up to an overhead projector, right? So it's on there. It's the first thing you see. They full screen that motherfucker. They crafted these guys. These guys leave it on mute, so you don't know until you walk in the fucking room. But it's the first thing you fucking see. Fucking 8 foot wide, plastered across the wall. It's a small room. It's like fucking 10 by 10 foot. It's the only thing you see. Well, you can see it from the other end of the hallway once you open the fucking door. The swinging fucking dick. It is very unpalatable.
Oh, okay. So, what is your remake of? Oh no, that's where we got to. We got to Gordon Ramsay is blind, and Samuel L. Jackson is abusing him. Abusing him how? He's still sort of with him. They're going to this award ceremony, but there's all these snipes at him being blind.
Well, yeah, I think like Samuel L. Jackson. Oh, his actions are construed in the media as like quite hateful.
Well,
But what
yeah,
he's
you
doing,
said that. You said he's made all these hateful comments.
But it's tough love.
So-
It's
okay.
tough love.
Well, you say
You
stuff
know,
like, now he's blind, brackets, and inferior. He'll have to learn to cope without sight.
Yeah,
Stuff like that.
No, nothing so direct. Not like a press conference or anything like that. It's just like
Okay.
stuff that's been observed in public. He's obviously kind of he's trying to get him to kind of not rely on the cane so much and just kind of feel his way. Rely on his hearing a little bit more. And
Okay.
he's kind of joshing him a little bit, nudges him a little bit.
But-
I think
but
there was an
before-
instance where you seemed like fucking
Okay, but
get the legs, fucking Ramsay's on the floor.
But how
people like fucking are up in arms.
how does that work with what you said before? So, like Samuel L. Jackson saying to him, Stop using the cane. It's a symbol of white power.
I'm workshopping it right now.
Or are we
I'm
getting rid of the
whittling
raised
it
bit?
down? Well, we might do. I
we
might
might
be
do.
fucking working something out here. You know, we can. We will evaluate it at the end of
Maybe,
it. Okay?
maybe it would be more reasonable. Like it's not like Samuel L. Jackson doesn't like Gordon Ramsay because he's white so much as because he's so shiny. Because
He's a shiny man.
He is quite shiny, isn't he? He's a shiny beast.
And quite sinewy as well. Yeah, which gives.
There's a lot of
when you get
face
that-
as well going on there.
Yes, a lot of very interesting facets, particularly in his furrowed brow.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're trying to paint that, kind of trying to get the dynamic lighting correct, it's a bit of a mindfuck. You know, you're like a legitimate artist when you can
program
accurately
a replica
portray
of Ramsay's face that can go through dynamic lighting changes.
I was talking about painting, but yeah, it's like 3D modeling. It's got to be a mountain to climb.
It's like
you know?
mapping the canals of Mars.
It's that, or it's fucking Gordon Ramsay and Maya, of course. Yes, I think there's a perfect fucking parallels.
Okay, so all right, so Samuel L. Jackson doesn't like him because he's too shiny. So yeah, great. There's a great conflict there. So it's like, oh God, you're so bright. I can't even see. Yeah, but you're too bright. Samuel L. Jackson's constantly annoyed because the sun keeps reflecting of Gordon Ramsay.
And he looks whiter than the average white. Yeah. We can work that race angle. Maybe it's not a comedy at all.
Yeah,
maybe
it's not
drama.
even that. Like, yeah, he does, but also like he's just always wearing white. Like he can change that. He's always fucking wearing white.
Top to bottom, it's like the suit from Big.
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, you know, the sleeves go all the way past his hands.
I don't remember a top hat, Mr. Ramsay. It seems to be a bit overkill. You know, Mr. Jackson is already up in arms. I think you're doing it to push his buttons. Fuck off. It's a really big fucking top hat as well.
It's huge.
It's not. It's like as tall as like the stovepipe Lincoln thing, but it's like a regular fucking top hat proportion wise. So it's really wide. So one of the reasons Gordon Ramsay's having so much problem as a blind man is that trying to find his way around with the cane. He can't do it. Both of his hands are wasted supporting this fucking ridiculous hat that he's always wearing.
Right. This is perfect. And what we'll do is we'll get that knife band in, you know, whatever they're called, like Gorilla Head or whatever. You know, the people who like do all that faux rock shit, and we'll get them to re-record it. You know what I'm talking about. And we'll get them to re-record their singles. It's like, couldn't make it as a blind man, couldn't make it as a deaf man either. And we'll just get them to they'll fucking do it.
And that's it.
Yeah, yeah, it's just that, and then it's the same lyrics. We just get them to redo that. That's 10 million.
Easy. In fact, we could probably dispense with the band at all. I'm sure there's like a supercut on YouTube already. Well, it's just those lyrics over and over again. We could save ourselves some fucking money. We might have to fucking dish out some royalties to the channel, but maybe if we don't tell anybody, we could probably just fucking rip it off and it'd be fine. I'm sure we could tweak enough of the EQ so it's not legally distinguished. It's fine. Save ourselves a little bit on the budget there. This project's coming together. It's fine. It's perfect.
Yeah, I mean that is where most copyright breach occurs, when the people who are doing the breaching say, "We're ripping this off. We're not going to pay you."
In a public forum, no less.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, did you pay your taxes?
Do I pay my taxes?
Yeah. Did you pay your taxes? Did you pay all your taxes?
I
paid them on time?
Yeah. I pay them automatically. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm not in that position. If I had to like put them all together and actually do it myself and sit down, I'd be fucked.
Yeah.
Why for you ask?
All that extra money you've been making on eBay.
Oh. Sorry, what? No, we don't talk about that.
Yeah. Or would you sell on eBay?
The shit that my dad buys from antique shops. Easily. Here is a radiogram from the 50s. It totally works. You want this. I'm sure by now my dad has an additional 2 pianos. I'm sure there's like 4 pianos in that fucking house now. So, well, you know, the problem with these pianos is like no one values them. These wonderful machines, Damien, but you know, people throwing them away. You can pick them up for like almost nothing. This was 50 quid. Yeah, it weighs a fucking ton. It takes up a room. That's a room in your house you can no longer go into. For 50 quid.
Your dad has a lot of room, though.
Yeah, but he's running out for the fucking piano.
Describe your house for the listener.
It's in a detached house. It's like 4 bedrooms. I think it's really big. It
big.
used to have a swimming pool, had a double garage.
Now it just has a cavity. You used to have
it
an
has a
indoor
cavity
swimming pool.
An indoor swimming pool. Well, it was an extension. So you say indoors. It wasn't in the building. It was someone built a pool and then built a greenhouse around it. It's all right, indoor, but it's not. It wasn't designed that way.
Sure,
It's
but
more of an afterthought.
But it was covered. I mean, and it was heated.
Yes, yeah. Granted, it would take fucking 2 days to heat, which I found out, but it was almost entirely useless when it was in operation. Now it has been neglected. It is. I mean,
it's unbelievable. It's unfucking believable. You could put a body in there, and there'd be no trace of it.
Yeah. Well, obviously you used to foam up with the algae, but now I'm not quite sure. I think they might be starting to die off because the algae simply replaced all liquid. And last time I was there, what was 8-foot pool had reduced down to maybe 6 inches of just thick algae. And what had been growing out, I'm not sure where it grows out of. It could be the wall or something in the pool itself. But there is a plant that comes up from the bottom, or where it stems, it's what works its way down, but it's from top. It covers the entire height of the pool and the greenhouse itself. So we're talking a good, fucking almost 20 feet of fucking plant growing out of this thing.
Right, and when it comes to the time when you need to get rid of it, what you need to do is you need to go around the back, switch the electricity on to stun it, and then fire the missiles at it, right? Because if you fire the missiles at it first, it won't be stunned, so they won't do anything. Right, but whilst you're going around the back, make sure to stay low so it doesn't see you, and throw grenades every so often so it gets distracted.
Yeah, there's also a thing where I know I can go down into the basement, and if I jimmy something up from my dad's drink cabinet, I can poison the roots, and I can go back upstairs, and it's slightly smaller and easy to kill.
There's a what? There's some alcohol in his cabinet.
Yeah, I can.
Did you say? Is that what you just said?
Is that what was shocking? Your dad has a drinks cabinet and it's not fucking empty? Yeah, I suppose I'd rather surprise myself.
Oh, no. I remember the last time I went, it was full.
No, I did. We used to have one, actually, right? And it was this fucking old bass drum that my dad, I think, was given to him by Stuart Copeland back in his fucking, when my dad was in his heyday, right? And it wasn't so much a drinks cabinet, but he used to keep all the liquor that he was collecting. And he used to have he used to have a social life back then, right? And there's a lot of people around. It was quite busy. And it was loads of bottles of whiskey, gin, this, that, and the other. Yeah, a complete fucking compliment, right? It was hundreds of pounds worth of liquor on this fucking thing. And it was just before, me and my sister, I guess we would have been 14, 15 before we'd really started ever trying to drink. And there was just a point where I think it was my grandparents' 25th wedding anniversary, and there was a party, and then one of my uncles got me loaded on fucking, I think it was Smirnoff Ices or something like that, and I was drunk for the first time.
And just for anyone who doesn't know, a Smirnoff Ice, it's like in a beer bottle, it's 4% alcohol, and it's just it's vodka,
it's lemonade.
Yeah. It's disgusting.
Oh, it's disgusting, but it was the fucking ticket when I was a kid.
I remember our friend, one of the weird twins, told us, as kids do, yeah, I drank a bottle of vodka at the weekend, and I was so drunk. And they would they would go on about it. They would say, yeah, my mum lets me drink a bottle of vodka on Saturday night if I stay in. And then I remember he came over one day to your house and we were doing drinking, and he was drinking this bottle of vodka, and it was a Smirnoff Ice.
No, for fuck's sake. Yeah, not one of the kind of, booster sizes either, the fucking almost litre sizes, but no, the fucking bog standard fucking beer bottle.
But no, we're talking about the 4% stuff, not the 12% thing.
Oh yeah, no, this is it's the fucking lemonade bullshit.
Yeah.
But so it was the bad time I tried drinking, and I think maybe after that I think my dad gave me a beer here and there, but my sister was a bit of a wild child, and I think she was going out and obviously had gotten a fucking taste of drinking of her own accord as well, and then suddenly after a fucking debacle, all that, it was unbeknownst to me, all that fucking liquor just vanished. My dad had to fucking hide it because she was fucking destroying it.
That's
I was
nuts.
respectful enough. Yeah, I was respectful enough not to think I could get away with it. But in hindsight, I should have fucking jumped on that fucking gravy train.
I remember quite a few times we would go to our friend's house and he would get into his liquor cabinet and everything. But I remember the first time we ever did it, I think we were about 14, and the only thing he had in the cabinet was a bottle of Advocaat. And we each had a glass of Advocaat. And all I can say about my first time drinking is it was pretty nice.
Oh yeah.
I definitely didn't get drunk though. I mean, maybe I
Okay.
did a bit, but it was like, I know, I had a sweet tooth and I liked it. It was sweet. And it was like, oh. But it, it was nowhere near
Okay.
enough to get you drunk. I mean, you could drink,
I'd never
you
kind
could
of-
drink a
yeah.
fucking bottle of that and not get drunk.
It's not what I wouldn't kind of go for that. For me, it's like, oh,
Well, we had
yeah,
no
I'll
choice.
settle down for a nice evening, having fucking sit down for some nice creme de menthe.
Yeah.
Oh god. Do you remember there was it they was one some shitty bar that we went to, and there was these fucking
Bob Marley's.
kind of deluxe shots, the Bob Marleys. I swear they were fucking rancid. It was like toothpaste
You've
and like
definitely
old
badmouthed the
Viscount
Bob Marley's
biscuits.
before.
Oh, I don't give a fuck, man.
Yeah.
They deserve,
Mm-hmm.
toothpaste that gets you pissed. I don't give a fuck.
Oh, do you remember? Did I ever make you drink a Terminator? Which was, it was like half a pint of beer, half a pint of cider, a shot of vodka, and a shot of mouthwash.
No, I've never done that before.
Oh yeah.
Fucking hell.
So my friend claimed to have invented it in Cardiff. He went to Cardiff University, which had this reputation for being, like a party university, but also a good one as well, apparently.
Okay.
But he said he only drank it 3 times in his life, and the first time, the last time, he shit himself.
What, after just one, or
No,
was he
he-
just drinking
he
them
ba-
exclusive for the evening?
No, I think he got through about 3 of them. The thing is you have to down them. You have to drink them in like 10 seconds.
Oh man.
Yeah. I did one once. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, it
Remember
sounds
when-
fucking
when-
miserable.
Why do people do shit like that?
Yeah.
Do you remember that New Year's Eve where you went home at 11:30 and
Yeah,
went
I
to
was
bed?
fucking shit faced. Yeah, and I ended up fucking throwing up all over myself in my sleep. I was fucking mullered. It's like I can't remember
Wow.
what bar it was, but you and Double had already fucked off. It's like I'm already at fucking critical mass here. I don't have the time to say goodbye. I'm just going to walk off. It's fine.
Yeah, we didn't know where you were or
Hopefully-
anything. You just walked off and it was like, what?
I mean, where we were, I was 5 minutes from home anyway, so I
Yeah.
thought, fuck it. I'm just gonna go where I can gleefully just collapse, because I'm not gonna fucking fare well. Another half an hour of this. This is back when drinks were just like put in your hand at this fucking point. So, man, if I was stayed by midnight, there would have been another fucking
That is utter
3 fucking drinks.
utter
in
bullshit.
me.
The reason you got like that is because we went down to that horrible. Do you not remember we went down to that horrible bar and then it was me and Dobbo and we were stood there and we had a pint each
Right.
in a bottle, and then you came with 3 pints and you said, "What are you doing? You got a speed drink." And then you,
Oh,
you
really?
drank like 3 fucking bottles at once, and then you went back and did it again. That's why it happened.
Well, that's why I don't fucking remember. There you go.
Did you learn? No, not really.
Not really, no.
Fucking hell.
I know if someone tried to fucking like put that on me, I'd tell them to fuck off. It's like I'll have my 1 bottle of cider and I'll take it to my home place. Thank you very much.
Is it-
I can't stomach the sickness anymore.
Is that what you do? The sickness, fucking hell, really?
The sickness. Oh, I mean, I don't wear hangovers well at the best of fucking times anymore.
I bet you don't.
It's not the
I bet it's like fucking Eeyore in the 8th dimension.
I might not live through this.
Just like an
is
image
what
of
I feel
Eeyore,
like
but
every
like
time.
stretched through the tunnel that he goes through in 2001: A Space Odyssey.
So he's not given the the benefit of seeing his own death. He's just it's self-perpetuating. That is an eternity of suffering. That's exactly what it's like.
Is it?
You just sound discredulous. Fucking hell. Yes, it's exactly what it's like.
What?
Don't shit on me.
I'm not. I'm just trying to understand.
It's the shame, you see. Shame.
Of walking into Tesco's with piss down your trousers.
I'm sure I've said this before. There's a Tesco in the corner that I buy from, and they like approve even before I get to the fucking self checkout,
Yes.
so that I never have to show my ID.
Yes, you said it like 2 weeks ago.
And you said it 2 months before that.
Yeah.
Get your shit together, man.
Yes, when I said the piss thing, I was referring to that when you said that you went in there and you pissed yourself. Remember?
No, because I was pissed. I was pissed when I was told the story as well.
No, really?
All right, this is going to a dark place where I don't feel good.
that
My
didn't come
self-esteem is
across.
diminishing.
Well, do you want to talk more about See No Evil, Hear No Evil? Yeah.
No, I want to go in a corner and fucking cry. Leave me alone.
Oh,
Get off my
okay.
fucking
I'm
back.
sorry.
I've got some fucking personal demons to wrestle with, you shithead.
Oh, okay.
Oh, but sorry, that was a bit uncalled for. I don't know. No fighting talk here. It's supposed to be a safe place. Safe place.
Is this podcast the same place? I'm pretty sure it's not. It's a fucking wonder anybody listens to this. It's not just shit. It's like really offensive.
Yeah.
I listened to one the other day for the first time in about 2 years, and I was appalled.
Oh, well, I think that's the correct reaction for any kind of well-adjusted human being.
So Samuel L. Jackson is prodding Gordon Ramsay, shiny Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's our first obstacle? What do they have to overcome? What brings them together?
Well, I thought it was like a pre-established friendship, but
Right.
he's saying okay.
But you're saying that he can't. But Samuel L. Jackson can't stand him now because he's shiny. So it's okay. So it's a pre. But what rekindles them then? There needs to be something they overcome. Are they just stuck in an airport waiting to go to this shitty? Are we going to make it like a mockumentary thing?
Maybe we could set it up as like an odd couple thing. There's no kind of backstory, but they're living together, right? And
Right.
They
Yeah.
just have
Sharing
to
the same bed. It's not gay. They're both in pajamas, but you know.
But curiously enough, there are two separate toilets in the bathroom.
Right.
Which is implied that, that when they do, when nature does call, that they do it simultaneous.
Yes.
They understand they can't shit in the same toilet because they both have, arses that don't kind of mesh on the toilet. So they've made some accommodations. There's a little bit of personal space, They boundaries. You just have to respect that.
Yeah.
Separate toilets.
Yeah, I imagine Ramsay
Granted,
has
they're only
one that
2
can
foot
flush
apart.
2 White Castle sliders at the same time.
These toilets, however, are in the middle of the bathroom and they're facing each other with no more than 3 feet
I
apart.
mean, they're knees to knees.
Well, no, they can't. No, it's too close for knees, so they have to sit with their legs apart. Everything's on fucking show.
Right. Okay.
If you lean forward, you can see that fucking deuce kind of crawl out of out of each other.
It's like
So it's been like 6 years of them living together like this, and Gordon has insisted on so many of these
It's
little
like, do
fucking
you know-
embellishments in their
you
home.
know what I realised? It's like we're the kids in like a really sort of experimental class for 8-year-olds where they get someone in. And they're like, okay, kids, for the next 2 hours, I'm going to teach you how to do stop motion with clay models. All right. And then they teach you how to do it. And then they send the kids off in groups, And then the girls go over there and they make this love story. And then these girls go over there and they make this adventure story. And then these boys do this story where these people kill each other. And then we're over there in the corner and we just made them fuck. And that's all we did. And we knew we'd get in trouble. But all we
did
did
it
was
anyway.
just fuck.
I'm sure if we had those fucking classes, that's exactly what we would have done. I think that's pretty much how we pissed up a lot of those fucking classes when we draw those posters and what have you.
How can I draw the biggest cock in this poster and get away with it?
Well, maybe if the shape of the island, right? If we give it a Spanish name, it won't be offensive. The balls could be sexo tiendo with El Wickermano over here.
El penne, as in the pasta.
We have Lel Aqueducto coming out of the tip there. She won't know.
Anyway,
Naturally.
Anyway,
It was exquisite.
Samuel L. Jackson and Gordon Ramsay are spread eagle in front of each other. Now go on.
All right, so it's been like 6 years of this, right?
Now,
Gordon Ramsay.
Now, Gordon Ramsay, I think, just to interject, I think Gordon Ramsay should say, I just don't get it, Sam. Why don't you have any sympathy for me? I'm going blind. And Samuel L. Jackson's like, I've just got too much to worry about. And Gordon Ramsay says, well, what do you mean? And Samuel L. Jackson says, oh, you're right, you're blind. And Gordon Ramsay's having none of it. He knows him too well. He's like, Sam, what have you got in your mind? Tell me. And Samuel L. Jackson's like, in 6 years, the world will be consumed by an ever-growing Tim Allen. In 10 years, he will be the size of the galaxy. In 15 years, he'll have consumed all matter.
The top scientists and leading government officials, they're seeing no way out of this. This is something that we're just seemingly going to have to make peace with. We, at best, have a decade left. There is nothing we can do. And it will be a painful death as well.
I think I said 6 years.
People slowly... 6 years, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm foolish. Yeah.
It'll be a painful death.
It'll be a painful death. Slowly, the mass of Tim Allen will start to kind of overcome the gravitational pull of our planet, and they will slowly collide. It won't be instant, but continents will be crushed. The flow of the waters will be gone.
We will have to advise people to take their own lives before they are actually killed, because the world will be changed, like you say, with changes in gravity and tidal waves and such. It will be, the last few hours will be a living hell.
Yeah. Well, he'll immediately make impact with Australia, and there'll be this huge migration from America across Europe, because the ozone will suddenly be siphoned off by Tim Allen's gravitational pull. People won't be able to breathe on Earth. They'll have to migrate to Tim Allen. The few survivors will have to...
No, but how would they survive the impact of the two, of Earth and Tim Allen?
Well, I mean, there must be like a few fucking survivors, right? A few savvy survivors. Maybe Samuel Jackson's already drawing up his plans.
Oh, well, okay, maybe that's the film then. How are they going to get onto Tim Allen? And that's the film. They're going to this conference. Fuck the charity thing. They're going to this conference. Sam Jackson's got this crazy idea to build an elevator to Tim Allen. And that's the name of the film, An Elevator to Tim Allen.
Okay, right, yeah. So that's why Sam Jackson is so fucked up. Right?
The full name is actually called. The full name is actually Samuel L. Jackson's An Elevator to Tim Allen, by Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay, so I think we've established a motive as well, right? So Sam Jackson's fucked off because he's got his plans in order, and the only hurdle is Gordon Ramsay at this point. He's holding him back.
Shiny?
Yeah, well, no, because he's blind. And, of course, shiny as well.
And everybody knows that Gordon Ramsay is the best damn space engineer there is.
I mean, that's not in dispute.
Or space chef, shall we say.
Space chef.
and everybody knows that. And everybody knows that the people who make this space tunnel, space elevator, they'll have to be, working around the clock. And there's only one person who can serve them. The best damn space chef there's ever been. Gordon Mr. Ramsay.
And that's the only reason that Sam Jackson is tolerating Gordon, despite being such a thorn in his fucking side. The narrative arc is that they finally make it to the Tim Allen, right? And they look around, and it's an Eden. They are two of a pocket of maybe like 30 or 40 survivors.
And then they see Tim
the
Allen's head.
Will continue. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, then they see Tim Allen's head, and they're like, go to pick it up like it's a disembodied head. And they're like, no, you're standing on my shoulders.
Oh, so did we establish that like Tim Allen's head was the only thing about him that wouldn't expand?
Oh no, I think you did. You did make a case that even his cheeks were like nebulas wide.
Because I like this amorphous blob. They don't know it's Tim Allen. They make it onto this this foreign body. They establish their new home.
They call it Tim Allen. Just the coincidence.
The epilogue of this movie is that fucking Gordon Ramsay and fucking Sam Jackson are fucking surveying the lands. They're cartographers now. They got to fucking know about where they're living.
Yeah.
Fucking Gordon Ramsay trips, right? Fucking stumbles. Fucking he's feeling around because that's how he meets people, right? Because he's blind.
Oh no.
He feels the faces. He's on the floor. His hands. He puts his hands out. He feels the face. It's like, oh, is there a dead body here? What's going on? Blah 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 blah. He calls out. He's freaked out. Yeah, he feels it wriggle, and he's like, oh my god, and then something nips his fucking finger, shrieks. Sam Jackson comes over,
starts
looks
beating
over
it.
the fucking shoulder, it's like, motherfucker, and then it just cuts to Tim Allen's face, just looking up and smiling, and it cuts to black. End of the fucking movie.
Ho ho ho.
Yeah, but that's over the black, right? So you don't see him say it. cut to black, ho, 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 credits. There we go. That is how I see Hear No Evil, See No Evil.
Maybe it could be Sam Jackson saying, "That is one ugly motherfucker," and then it goes to black and you hear Tim Allen say, "That is one ugly motherfucker."
Fuck you, asshole.
Oh, oh, oh. Yeah,
What did Tim Allen try
like
his
that,
hand
in
at
that
Cartman?
voice. What?
I mean, it's a bit out of place, but
Yes.
cut it, print it. It's fine.
Yeah. I actually thought you were going to say Gordon Ramsay feeling around, and the end of the movie is he falls off, and it's into the chasm of Tim Allen's arse. And it's like this planet's Grand Canyon times 20.
Well, I think this could be a franchise. The perils of Tim Allen's body provides many challenges and many perils. So we could explore that in future movies.
Is it bouncy?
I do. Could be in
I
parts.
guess it's
I'm
just
sure
flesh, isn't it? I guess it's...
Yeah, I'm sure there are more solid masses. I guess the kind of more fat-based parts of the body would they mark off as like sea territory, really, a bit too viscous for human survival.
Would,
you have
so now that these people are on Tim Allen and it's expanding, he's expanding all the time, I guess they're not going to be crushed by him. It's more like they're going to be crushed by the end of the universe.
Yeah,
if
they live as nomads, basically, because every time they build a settlement, it eventually kind of like drops with further stretch marks, which kind of appears as huge fissures in the land. They have to keep moving. They never settle for long.
Couldn't they make some sort of I don't know? Couldn't they make some structures that don't have foundations and just sit on like sleds, so that
they live on kind of like caterpillar tracks? Everyone lives in like these giant tanks, essentially.
Well, yeah.
I
guess
like the.
I mean, if there's only 40 survivors, you could do that.
I don't know. The migration was tough. Maybe they couldn't get a lot of technology across. I think they're going to be living by the living on their fucking pants.
Living on the crabs.
I don't think they're going to have that kind of I don't think they're going to be more than like 2 or 3 generations of these folk, really.
Okay.
But they don't say it. They're trying to keep a stiff upper lip. They are the only humans left.
I guess they've got no natural
Tim
resources other than flesh.
Yeah, well, they can cook up a nice bit of Tim Allen,
But what would they cook it on? How would they start a fire? And
fat kind of burns quite nicely. They just have to. I mean, they're good to find some way.
Well, how would they ignite that? The only resource is his flesh.
All right, okay. So maybe there's Sam Jackson, there's Gordon Ramsay, and then maybe there's Bear Grylls as well, right?
Okay.
Drinking
he'll
his own piss,
out,
but yeah, he knows how to fucking start a fire
Let's have
fire
Raimi
with fucking flesh on flesh. So what they do, right, is they fucking carve out some skin.
Yeah.
They fucking dry it out in the sun. They find a particularly fucking
right, and then Gordon Ramsay, he feels Raimi as his very full rump, and he thinks that is dinner, and he takes a bite out of that, and there's a whole scene about that where they're having an argument. Oh, it's very funny.
Gordon Ramsay's eating Tim Allen's ass. It's all just play. It's all just wordplay on that.
No,
Gordon Ramsay's
Raimi is his ass.
He's blind. He doesn't give a shit. At this point, he's eating human. It's just like fucking hell. It's like, well, we're the last. I want to be I want to be the last. Even though I'm blind. Just fucking Gordon Ramsay just learns to like smell when people are asleep and just fucking breaks their neck and just fucking shouts the fuck down. One night he goes on a final killing spree, takes fucking the final 12 lives, and that's it. Fucking mass bonfire. He's thrifty at this point. He's been blind for a few months now. He knows his way. It's fine. Takes he does a little bit of stumbling. It takes a little bit longer than worried to have his actual sight, but he gets the shit done. Gordon Ramsay is the last man left alive, and he grows fat off the bodies of those that came before him. Maybe there are no sequels.
And it's this beautiful ending where it's just Gordon Ramsay and he's blind and he's calling out, Sam Jackson, Sam Jackson, Sam.
Samuel.
And Sam Jackson's like 20 yards away, dead, and Gordon Ramsay might never even find him. And that's how it ends. And even if he does find him, he can't look after himself. He can't, there's no resources. There's no way he can look after himself. There's nothing to drink other than fucking Tim Allen's blood.
Yeah, and it's not really a viable resource. You'll definitely get some kind of blood disease doing that. Some kind of poisoning.
Yeah.
Oh, he's fucked, isn't he?
Yeah, that's
well.
the beauty of it.
Well, he's murdered like 12 people, after this point. So, fuck him. He's a bad man. He's bad man.
And that is our remake of See No Evil, Hear No Evil. What should we call it? See No Evil, Hear No Evil Director's Cut. Just to really confuse people.
Yeah, but we still put Richard Pryor's name on it.
Yes. No, what should we call it?
Watch out, Ramsay's about.
That's terrible. That's all.
I didn't say it was going to be good.
No, but fucking all right. So that's our remake of See No Evil, Hear No Evil. Watch out, Ramsay's about. So this is the last episode of this podcast that we're going to do until February. We're going to take the Christmas off. Damien needs to go and make some hamburgers for some rich arseholes, etc.
Yes. The more tasteful ones ask for fish, but there aren't many of those.
Fish! Today's fish is trout à la crème.
People think it tastes like chicken. It doesn't, and it's not worth the money.
Well, if it did, why would you want that? Just buy chicken. And don't buy chicken. It's chicken. Fuck chicken. Buy beef.
Yeah, well, people think they're healthier if they eat fish, but they eat it with béarnaise, just fucking 100 fucking milliliters of fucking butter sauce,
Yeah,
fuck that.
And I imagine a mountain of carbs.
Oh yeah. There are always chips in fucking tow. Bastards.
Yeah,
pasta.
That's what I'll get you. I mean, do these people not listen to Joe Rogan? I mean, I know they obviously do. Everyone does. But
Everyone does.
what the
Yeah,
fuck?
it's mandatory.
Yeah, it's mandatory.
Yeah.
You have to. Otherwise, you'll be running away and you'll just hear.
Hello, freak bitches. Hello, freak bitches.
And the next thing you know,
bitches,
your
bitches.
mouth will be clamped around his member.
Oh, it's been a long journey, this podcast. It's taken us to many wild places.
All 51 fucking episodes. We'll be back in February. Thanks very much for listening, guys. Have a great Christmas or however you're going to spend December. Have a nice time. Bye.
Bye. Yes, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, all that kind of stuff. Goodbye.
What's Kwanzaa?
I have no idea. Click.
Sorry, what did you just call me?
I believe that click is a racially pejorative term. You're really fucking slumming it now, Damien.
I'm what? You're a click. Click.
We've gone delirious, haven't we?
No, we're always
It's reached delirium.
we're always like this, dude. It's always like
Oh, fuck.
this.
Yeah. We established the formula with the Planet of the Apes episode, and we've never strayed far from it.
God, why did we even try in the first ones?
I don't know. We had friends babies. That was good.
Weren't the early ones good? Is that what you're saying?
They were good. Fucking hell.
What?
So remember, things went kind of hit a stride with Planet of the Apes. That was all. After that-
I think we're still on that stride.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you
I'm
missed
keeping
it
all this
everywhere.
in just to show that we're not. All right, thanks very much, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Looks like you're